This YouTuber is really disgusting. Here's why. Nick Giovanni took things way too far by training a rat to cook, and it's not just silly or harmless, it's downright disturbing. I can't stress enough how far he crossed the line, and I feel physically disgusted just thinking about it. Imagine this, a rat in a kitchen, chopping vegetables, stirring sauces, and preparing food for a critic. Sounds like the plot of some twisted dark comedy, right? Well, unfortunately, this is real life, and Nick decided to make it a reality for his YouTube channel. Not only does this stunt seem absurd, it feels disrespectful to everything we know about hygiene and health. It's one thing to push boundaries for entertainment, but Nick pushed them so far that it's hard to look at him the same way again. Nick Giovanni's latest stunt isn't some harmless joke. It's a grim and alarming demonstration of what happens when shock value is prioritized over common sense. The man decided it would be hilarious to train a rat, yes, a rat, to cook a full ratatouille dish. At first, I thought this was some sort of joke or parody, maybe a one-off ridiculous challenge like so many others we see online, but then I watched him go all in on the idea. He spent months building a custom kitchen for this rat named Remy, as though it were a legitimate cooking competition. It's hard to imagine, but it happened. And if you've seen the movie Ratatouille, you know exactly what Nick was trying to do. In that film, a rat named Remy dreams of becoming a chef, and against all odds, he pulls off the impossible, cooking up an incredible dish in a high-end restaurant. But just to clarify, that's a fictional animated world. This is real life, and what Nick Giovanni did is more disgusting than anything you'll find in a Disney movie. The sheer audacity of Nick's stunt is enough to make your stomach turn. He built a full kitchen just for the rat, complete with shelves full of ingredients, specialized cooking tool, even a system that would lift and move objects for Remy so it could interact with the kitchen like a human chef.
And that is the mark of a great chef. And it really smells amazing. To get our canned tomatoes that'll finish out the sauce.
There's something deeply disturbing about watching a rodent chop veggies and prepare sauces, not to mention the idea of a rat touching food that's meant for human consumption. And yet, Nick didn't stop there. He didn't just want to show how a rat could hypothetically cook, he wanted to take it a step further and show that the rat could create a dish worthy of a food critic. And not just any critic, he invited Dennis, a real-life food critic and health inspector, to judge the rat's cooking. This is where it gets truly disgusting. Dennis had no idea that the food he was about to taste was prepared by a rat. Nick kept it a secret, allowing Dennis to eat a full meal of rat-prepared food. At first, Dennis, as a professional food critic, took the bite without hesitation. He didn't know that it had come from Remy's paws, and from his perspective, it was just another dish.
10 on the visuals and on the taste. Where are you putting it?
I would have to go with a 9.
Would you order this at a restaurant?
I would.
Does it make you want to go back in for another bite?
Absolutely.
Did you think I could cook this well?
I did not. I'll be honest. Pleasantly surprised.
Feel free to take a few notes, and I will be right back.
And shockingly, Dennis liked it. He even gave it a solid rating, calling it a 9 out of 10. That's what makes this even worse. It's not just about the grotesque idea of a rat cooking your meal, it's the fact that someone actually praised that meal, completely unaware of how unsanitary and disgusting it was to eat something prepared by an animal. It's hard to digest the idea that a professional could, without any knowledge of the circumstances, taste food cooked by a rat and still think it was good. At this point, I was repulsed by the entire thing. The stunt was shocking enough, but the fact that Dennis, the food critic, wasn't immediately horrified when he found out what had happened made me sick. And here's where the most infuriating part happens. Nick actually reveled in the idea that he had tricked Dennis. After Dennis enjoyed the food, Nick revealed the truth. He told Dennis that a rat had cooked the dish. Dennis was in disbelief, and who could blame him? To find out that you just ate food prepared by a rat, especially in a professional context, is beyond unsettling.
That's the chef. We spent a year training this rat to be able to cook. He actually prepared this ratatouille for you.
He did.
Do you believe me?
No.
Can I have the iPad? What's going through your head right now?
Confusion, disgust.
It's a real rat.
Yeah.
Are you shocked by that?
Yeah.
Do you like rats?
No, they're disgusting.
The fact that Nick, in all his pride, continued to defend the idea, claiming that anyone could cook, even a rat, is where his complete lack of awareness shows.
Health inspector and as a food critic, will you agree that anyone can cook?
I would think so.
I need you to say the whole thing.
I would have to agree that anyone can cook, even a rat.
This wasn't just a quirky, outlandish stunt, this was an act of ignorance. It wasn't funny, it wasn't edgy, it was flat out gross. You could see Dennis trying to hide his discomfort, but it was clear that the truth had hit him hard. This wasn't just some joke, this wasn't some harmless culinary challenge. This was Nick Giovanni as a grown adult, thinking it was okay to let a rat prepare food and serve it to people. You could see the disgust on Dennis's face as he processed what had happened. Nick tried to brush it off as a cute reference to the movie Ratatouille, claiming that the whole point was that anyone can cook, even a rat. But here's the thing, a rat should never cook food. The hygiene issues alone are staggering, let alone the idea of actually feeding people food that's been touched by a rodent. This whole stunt was nothing short of a health nightmare. For all of Nick's attempts to make it sound lighthearted, the reality is that rats carry all sorts of harmful bacteria and viruses. There's no way around it. Putting a rat anywhere near food is gross, and putting one in a kitchen is just wrong. What makes it worse is that Nick completely ignored these concerns for the sake of shock value. Nick Giovanni's actions go beyond just creating a disgusting spectacle for his YouTube channel. He's sending a message that it's okay to ignore basic hygiene for the sake of views. He's trivializing something that could have serious health consequences, all in the name of entertainment.
Next important step in cooking is putting all of the ingredients onto the plate. Hey, Remy, help me out. One of the most important things about being in a kitchen is having everything neatly organized.
And that's the scariest part. Nick isn't just promoting a harmless joke, he's normalizing something that could have disastrous results if someone were to actually follow in his footsteps. Imagine someone watching this and thinking it's okay to let a rat cook food for them, or worse, to let their pets or animals around their kitchens. That's not just disgusting, it's dangerous. By the end of the video, Nick didn't just justify what he had done, he actually celebrated it. He had the audacity to claim that Remy, the rat, had somehow made history by cooking a ratatouille. He even made Dennis agree to the statement, "Anyone can cook, even a rat." This moment in the video made me feel sick to my stomach. It was as if Nick was trying to sell this outrageous idea as something inspiring, something that defied all logic and decency.